I just think of myself as Floyd Mayweather. What I want the people to really know is this, and what they got to really know is this. I can really fight. So that's what you got to know. I don't know if he had 1 fight or 2 fights against like probably another YouTuber. I don't really know. He can come out, fight hard as you want to fight. The results will always be the same.
We couldn't fight in LA. Commissioner said, Floyd, don't hit him too hard. Go light on him. Take it easy on him. I said, well, LA, y'all can't get this fight.
A lot of times when guys fight me, guys fight just to go the distance, to say, I went the distance with Floyd Mayweather. But guess what? Can't stop me. You name a fighter, the results, it's always the same. I tell my kids, go out and build your own legacy like I did for myself. I was able to beat the best in my era. I'm still undefeated. I mean, I think it's gonna be crazy. And I think it's good for the sport of boxing. But I'm not worried. You can mark my word to this. I can guarantee you this. The results will always be the same.
Set the retirement talk aside for now. What's happening in Floyd's camp tells a very different story. The clip's music show a fighter meticulously honing his skills, moving with the precision of someone preparing for a real challenge, not just a casual exhibition.
Sit back. Why are you shooting at me? He said, how you make a billion? He said, how you got all the money? And boy, I don't take no punishment. I move. You got it? Make sure the old lady got it. You got it? Okay. I want the old lady to come. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm an old man. So record the old man. Oh. Whoa.
He's turning it up now.
Oh. Okay, Mom. Mom, Michael, come here. Let's make it look good for Mom. Come back. Make it look good for Mom. Come back. Make it look good for Mom. Make it look good for Mom. Make it look good for Mom. Get back. Get back.
The mitt drills are crisp, moving with that same pinpoint timing. Short, precise combinations, music, sharp and deliberate. Every movement counts. It's as if his muscle memory never took a break.
Again. Again. Up. Line roll.
Watching him on the heavy bag, it's clear this isn't just about finesse anymore. Each strike, music lands with purpose, tight, controlled, and unexpectedly powerful. It's a reminder, music, that when executed perfectly, accuracy can hit just as hard as force. The sparring footage sends a distinct message. Music, these aren't lighthearted exchanges or easygoing sessions. They're focused, intense drills, applying measured pressure. It's as if he's gearing up mentally for an opponent who's bigger and stronger. And that's where the story shifts. While some dismiss it as just a payday, training this discipline isn't typical if it were only for show.
Nope. Nope. Yes, man. Yeah. Right there.
Start again. It's the red stage.
Nope. Yes, man. Yeah.
When two icons begin training at this level, the focus subtly changes. It's no longer just about revisiting old glory. It becomes a test of legacy, a matter of pride, competitive drive, and unresolved mental rivalries.
Yes. Whoa. Yes.
Once Floyd enters the ring, discussions about motives fade away. Attention narrows to a single point. Two legendary fighters meeting once more under bright lights, with genuine stakes and undeniable intensity.
Boxing pretty. Boxing pretty. Woo. Done.
The crisp training footage of Floyd, moving as if time never slowed him down, collides sharply with Sean Porter's skepticism. Porter isn't watching Mitt drills for entertainment. He's evaluating the scenario logically. When he points out that this fight doesn't add up, it's less about disrespect and more about a fighter's perspective. He even frames it as closer to a spectacle than traditional ring strategy. That observation alone changes the conversation, shifting it from hype to whether the matchup is actually plausible.
I don't see this one coming unless you know the history of these two guys.
Yeah, they don't like each other too much, do they, Sean?
When you look at the history, it's kind of like for a street fight. It doesn't make sense for like a in the ring situation, and so it's kind of like, I guess for the sake of words, crazier things have happened, and then now you have to say, well, no, it doesn't get crazier than.
Then Porter raises the bigger question. How do you even break down a Tyson versus Floyd matchup? That's the real challenge. On one side, a nearly 60-year-old heavyweight legend. On the other, a defensive genius whose career thrived on speed, angles, and evading danger. When Porter notes that Tyson likely did very little sparring before facing Jake, it stands out as a crucial point. Music. Timing against Floyd without sharp, fast-paced sparring is like trying to play chess half awake. Porter emphasizes that Tyson would need quick, skilled partners just to match Floyd's rhythm, a level of insight that most casual fans completely miss.
See, that it was directly because he did not spar. If he's gonna get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather, the thing he needs more than he needed with Jake is timing. The timing just wasn't there in the fight with Jake Paul. If he's gonna get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather, he's gonna have to do some sparring. He's gonna have to spar some, really fast guys. And I don't know at what level he's gonna take this serious. You know what I mean? I don't know. Mike, I think he's just beyond that age of. There's something you can do to muster it up.
Right.
I think he's all ketchup. There's no mustard there anymore.
Then the cat and mouse analogy for Floyd lands exactly where it should, reflecting the strategy that's defined his career for decades. Music. Porter paints a striking mental picture. If Mike connects with him, that single moment carries weight, because while Floyd can evade almost everything, Tyson still brings sheer mass and relentless mentality. Yet Porter returns to doubt, questioning whether the fight will even happen. A tension that contrasts sharply with the intense training scenes circulating. This leaves us in a compelling contradiction. Elite-level preparation on one side, analytical skepticism on the other, and in the middle, a matchup that feels both improbable and undeniably fascinating. Music.
Boy has done the cat and mouse game his entire life, and so he knows how to be fast. He knows how to get in and get out. The thing that I think would be really interesting to see would be to see Mike get a hold of him,
Yeah.
Because I think if Mike were to get a hold of him, Floyd's a professional. He knows how to get out of those things. But this is like 200 and something pounds, and it's Mike Tyson, and I know mentally it's I finally got you, and I wonder what that's going to look like, so it's not until you start to talk about it.
The analytical fog Porter created around timing, sparring, and the challenge of Tyson facing a cat-and-mouse strategist suddenly meets WD's bewildered reaction, like flipping on the lights in a room full of hype. His first impression is confusion, not excitement, and that says a lot. When Wade admits he's stunned the contracts are reportedly signed, it no longer feels like a rumor. It feels like boxing fully embracing the spectacle era he's been hinting at. He even frames it as a spin-off of Jake versus Tyson, a comparison that's sharp and realistic music, not disrespectful, highlighting how big names drive numbers, even when logic questions the matchup. Then he points out the huge weight gap and Porter's earlier question, how do you even analyze this? Resonates even more. At this point, the debate isn't just about styles. It's about raw physics clashing with refined reflex mastery.
Of the tape, they have it here. Mike 59, Floyd 48, Mike 5'10", Floyd at 5'8". Floyd with a 72-inch reach at 5'8". Mike with one of the shortest reaches for his height, 50-7, 50-0, and their KOs. No mention of the weight here in the tail of the tape. Interesting. An exact date and precise location are not yet known, but nonetheless, Tyson said he's thrilled to be slated to mix it up with Floyd, who he hasn't always had the greatest relationship. Quote, this fight is something neither the world nor I ever thought would or could happen. That is correct. Fair play to Mike there. Iron Mike said, however, boxing has entered a new era of the unpredictable, and this fight is as unpredictable as it gets.
When Wade points out that casual fans assumed Mike still had it, it lands like a quiet reality check, especially when tied to what we actually saw, not rumors, not stories, but real movement in the ring. His joke about whether the whole world will watch or barely anyone tunes captures Tyson's new era of unpredictability perfectly. He even notes, what really sticks with me is that I'll still watch, even while criticizing a spectacle. A line that sums up modern fight fandom in a single thought. Skepticism battling curiosity. He challenges legacy perceptions, showing how new fans judge legends through late career exhibitions, creating a clash between nostalgia and visible reality that's uncomfortable but truthful. At the same time, he openly acknowledges the financial side music, without moralizing, echoing Porter's earlier points about purpose and paydays. The story now feels layered, not just spectacle, not just sport, but a hybrid where curiosity, critique, and unavoidable attention coexist, whether purists approve or not.
Think that this one's going to be any different? The answer is no. Floyd, even though he's slowed down, even though he's much smaller, is going to run circles around Mike Tyson in this. Mike's going to have real trouble even getting to the fight. If we saw the Jake Paul exhibition, Mike was hospitalized for a bit. Then he had to take a lot of time off from training, had a stomach ulcer, and then again, the limping to the ring. Oh, man. The whole detrimental to his health. It's detrimental to Mike's health to even try to do this. The article keeps going, this fight will be an exhibition, so Mayweather isn't risking his perfect 50-0 record, though he doesn't sound concerned about Tyson in any way. I've been doing this for 30 years, and there hasn't been a single fighter that can tarnish my legacy, Mayweather.
What starts as a discussion about spectacle boxing quickly shifts into full insider strategy when Max and the panel analyze this matchup less as a fight and more as a massive event equation. I'm immediately drawn in. Max's comment about letting the veterans earn money isn't sarcastic. It's business sense in a suit. Then Shady casually lays out the timeline. A Tyson exhibition first, a Pacquiao rematch later. Suddenly, this isn't a comeback plan. It's a calculated legacy tour with pay-per-view numbers attached. When Max brings up Bud Crawford, hinting that Floyd would have avoided that prime matchup music, it lands as a sharp historical insight disguised as analysis. You can feel the room quietly acknowledging it without saying it outright music. The coolest, most telling moment comes when they admit that Pacquiao and Floyd aren't at their peak anymore, yet the event is still billed as massive. That contradiction captures boxing in 2026 perfectly. Faded physical primes, undefeated commercial drawing power.
Floyd was never going to fight Bud, but Pacquiao? By the way, when Floyd, the rumors were, or the reporting was that he was going broke, you were skeptical about it. Now that he's coming back, are you still skeptical about it?
Very good, Max. Yeah. Are you skeptical about it, Shady?
That's one thing I don't do. I don't talk about no other athletes' money. I don't do that.
By the way, my hope is that Floyd isn't going broke. So if he is, that he makes all the money in the world for a Pacquiao fight and rides off into the sunset a rich man, I wish him the best.
I want to fight somebody. I don't care about the money and all that.
Who you want him to fight?
That's not good with Pacquiao. Pacquiao just drew with Barrios.
Yeah, and you see, we look.
I also noticed Max admitting he never thought Pacquiao could outmaneuver Floyd stylistically, which fits perfectly with the defensive hierarchy we've been hearing about everywhere music. Longer reach, sharper timing, and disciplined fundamentals maintain control even years later. Yet the panel openly calls the first fight dull, while still debating whether to tune in for the rematch. That's peak fan psychology. Complaints on Monday, streams on fight night. When Max throws out the Super Bowl thought experiment, choosing Mayweather-Pacquiao live over anything else, it hits like brand gravity, not pure athletic excellence. Meanwhile, the subtle acknowledgement that this is more business than sport ties directly into the Tyson exhibition storyline. This isn't random nostalgia, it's carefully planned event stacking music. Messy from a competitive standpoint, massive commercially, emotionally tricky for purists, yet undeniably captivating for the audience that grew up with these names.
Watching Floyd fight is actually more my style of that perfect boxer.
That's what
when I do a pound for pound ranking, I'm trying to be objective. Pacquiao jumped more weight classes. What he did pound for pound to me was more impressive.
But you have him over Floyd.
But I never thought Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd ever.
But
never
Pacquiao,
thought
he's one of my favorite fighters. Cool. Floyd and Pacquiao, they're one of my favorite fighters. But I still
Floyd's
want to
the longer, bigger, better defensive fighter.
Right.
You know.
But let's be real. What this is all about, business. This is going to be a mega event. Doesn't matter how old they are. They're the two biggest names in boxing today, even if they aren't, necessarily the most active fighters. And Mayweather's going to have his exhibition with Mike Tyson in the con.
When you take a step back and piece it all together, Floyd's camp sharp and precise, Porter questioning the reasoning, Wade highlighting the spectacle, and Max framing it as a major business play music, the conversation shifts. It's no longer about, is this a real fight, but what does this moment mean for boxing? On one side, elite preparation, focus, and legacy pride shine through training that looks anything but casual. On the other, age, size differences, and exhibition realities remain unavoidable, no matter how legendary the names. That tension is the real intrigue, not pure sport, not just spectacle, but a hybrid where nostalgia, ego, money, and competitive identity coexist under a single spotlight. And honestly, whether it's seen as a show, a business maneuver, or a legacy statement, the attention is unstoppable. Fans debate it, analysts scrutinize it, critics raise eyebrows, but everyone tunes in when the bell rings. That's the draw of icons returning to the ring.
He knew he wasn't used to being
Not to get too far afield, guys, the point is, whatever you thought about that fight going in, when that fight was going on, you had to watch it. The question about making a big event is it compelling enough that even if I talk about this with Jake Paul sometimes, right? Whatever you want to say, when he chooses the right opponent, you're going to watch.
Here's the real question. Are we watching carefully planned legacy theater or two top-level competitors refusing to let their drive fade quietly? Share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Catch you in the next video.